George was more steady getting up here than I was. I'm very happy and proud to be honored by the Mid-America Conference. I want to thank the MAC and Eastern Michigan for helping me get this honor. I'd like to, they don't have to do anything, but table 13 is where our people all are, not the administrators, but my personal friends. My wife, Pat Parks, we've been married for almost 62 years. She calls it 62 years of living hell. Anyway, she played a big role in my success and was known to Mom by probably over 1,000 athletes. She also worked at Eastern Michigan for 19 years in chemistry in the provost office. And we have about as big a connection to Eastern Michigan as anybody in any school. My mother graduated from there. I graduated from there. I ran for them. And all 4 of our kids graduated from Eastern. 2 of them got masters there. 1 of them got a second bachelor's. We had a granddaughter graduate from there 2 years ago. And we have a granddaughter sitting at the table who flew up from Florida with her dad. And she has been admitted to Eastern Michigan for this fall. So we've got a pretty big connection. At the table, my daughter Nancy and her husband, Dr. Dan Kennedy, our son Scott, who's an athletic director in Florida, and Craig Howe, who was originally from England, was all-MAC, both in track and cross country. He flew in from California for this occasion, which I very much appreciated. We also have Bud Schimmelpenning, who's better known for his contributions to the football and basketball program. He's probably their #1 fan and supporter. Bud has the second longest name in school athletic history, SCHIMMELPFENNIG, which is 15 letters and second only to Sheila Papatrianopoulos, who ran on the women's track team. She beats him by 1 letter. And Jim Carruthers, I had him as a student in the 3rd grade. He followed me to middle school, high school, and college. Western Michigan, when I was assistant coach, a lot of kids followed me there, and Jim was one of them. He graduated and became a Teamster, maybe one of the few Teamsters ever to be a college graduate, but he was. And he also tells me he thinks he knows where Jimmy Hoffa is. We have Dr. Sandy Herman at the table. Sandy is an emergency room physician and administrator in Nashville, Tennessee. Sandy was my first assistant coach there. Helped me over the rough spots when I first got there in 1967. And he is one of the nation's renowned track and field announcers. He's done more Mid-American meets and other conference meets than I could count. And before coming to Eastern in 1967, I was assistant to George Dales, who you just met. George was amazing, and I learned so much from him that I used at Eastern, in some cases, to beat Western. But he got out in time. He knew what was coming. He got out. And Western, when I was there, we won a ton of conference championships. We won 2 NCAA Division I cross-country championships. The MAC has only won 4. Bowling Green has an ice hockey, Akron has a soccer, and Western has 2. And unfortunately, Western in 2003 was one of 7 MAC schools to drop track and field. That's abominable. And George made reference to it too. I won't get into that. But last fall we celebrated the 70th or the 50th anniversary of both national championship teams, and it was wonderful to see all these people. One came all the way back from Australia, and we had a lot of success at Eastern, and I guess I can take some credit for it, but most of it goes to our athletes. We had just some wonderful kids who were great athletes. We had 2 gold medalists and a bronze medalist. And those things just don't come to a mid-major school. And nobody in the MAC has done that. We do have some golds, but we had 2 of them plus a bronze. And we won 31 MAC titles, and we would have had 13 more indoor titles, except the conference did not recognize the sport until 1996. And we moved through NAIA, Division II, College Division, to Division I, probably faster than anybody in the history of the NCAA. And I think Central Michigan went with us, so we like to say we dragged them along. But in any case, it was wonderful. And we had great experiences along the way. And I started the first women's program as a club in 1973, and our daughter Sue was on the first team. And she's now in her 31st year as a Division I head coach. She was at Michigan, Michigan State, Arizona, Ball State, and Eastern Michigan. She had great success at Ball State, and when she came to Eastern, the program was really down, and they scored 7 points in her first conference meeting. 4 years later, they won. This year, they were second in cross country. They were first indoors, and they were second outdoors, which was 2 weeks ago. And we won the Jacoby Cup this year, and that's a great honor for me because Fred Jacoby was a great man and did a lot for me and for Eastern Michigan. And anyway, our daughter was a pioneer in women's athletics. We went to court and won a case against the Michigan High School Athletic Association enabling women to run on the men's team. And the assistant director of the state association, we were coming out of the thing all happy because the judge had ruled in our favor. And he said, "Damn you, Parks, the women will never have a championship. They'll just hide them on the men's team." Yeah, sure. The next year they had state championships for girls. And her school didn't have a team. She drove to the regionals, won 4 first, and took third as a team. Anyway, in the small world department, Corinne Patterson of the MAC office is a local girl from Ypsilanti, and she ran for Sue at Ball State. That was a good sprinter. And her dad and brother both ran for me at Eastern. And the brother, Kurtz Jr., won 7 individual MAC sprint titles. That's a lot. And her dad at the Cleveland KSC meet set a record in the prelims, and then in the finals, the guy jumped the gun, and that was the only way he was going to beat him. And we attribute our school's success in track and field. That's going on today, in the women under Sue and on the men. And I've been to every outdoor championship except one since 1965 or something. And we attribute our support, our success to the great support of the school administration and also the alumni and the great athletes we've had. Thank you.